Because the Knicks, they have held opponents below 100 points in 5 straight games. That is the longest streak by any team this season. A team hasn't had a 6-game streak like that since the Spurs in December of 2018. Now, the Golden State Warriors, they're 4-4 in March. They've lost 3 of their last 5 games, but remember, they were without Steph Curry in 3 straight contests. He was working his way back from an ankle injury before he returned against the Lakers. That was on Saturday. And oh my goodness, what do you call him, Perk? Big body Brunson?
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson has been on a tear as of late, dropping 40 points in each of his last 2 contests. He became the 4th player with consecutive 40-point games in Knicks history. And take a look at this. Overall, Brunson has 7 40-point games this season. That's the most by a Knicks player since Carmelo Anthony in 2012-13. It is tied for the 5th most 40-point games in a season in Knicks history. And I know you're all taking notes because this is a lot. It is tied for the most in a season by a Knicks guard all time. Kendrick Perkins. We were talking in January when New York was the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
At that point, you said that a successful postseason run for the Knicks would be what?
The NBA Finals.
Okay, the NBA Finals. And since then, they've had a couple of injuries, things go awry. They've dropped to 4th. Now what would you say it is?
I would say the Conference Finals.
That's all it's dropped.
Yeah, that's it. You know why?
Why?
We are in March Madness, right? And
Yep.
sorry about that, Woj. My apologies. Okay, we're in March Madness. and I would like to bring up a guy who loves the month of March, okay? 2-time NCAA champ, Big Body Brunson. That's why. Because of what he's doing on both ends of the floor. We could talk about his play offensively, and we know that he's a certified bucket. And the way he controls the game offensively, for us getting his teammates involved, it's a mixture of the new and the old for us, how he's able to distribute and make guys around him better. But he's a leader, right? You watch him defensively, him and Tibbs have this connection. And guess what? If you don't believe me, I'm not the only person that's saying this about Jalen Brunson, okay? Yeah, the guy he dropped a 40-piece on the team, they coach had something to say about it too.
You got to give a lot of credit to Jalen. Man, he's a hell of a player. I don't know if Steph maybe. I don't know if we blitzed anybody as much as we did Jalen tonight. Tried to send 2 at him, and he still scored 42 points.
Damn.
That's it?
Nope. He mentioned his name was Steph. Most coaches don't show their hand this early in the season when it comes to blitz coverages and things of that nature. Jalen Brunson makes you show your hand.
Perk, you're right. Jalen Brunson has been a great March player. All those Villanova guys on the Knicks. But the difference between this tournament and that one is these are best of 7. This isn't single elimination. But Jalen Brunson, what he has done for this Knicks organization, outside of LeBron James moving in free agency, outside of Kevin Durant moving in free agency, he has been the most impactful free agent, certainly maybe of the last decade in the NBA.
Talk to him.
What he has done for this Knicks organization, yes, getting in the playoffs last year, advancing, but he has pulled this entire organization that had been rudderless for years together. And everything falls into place around him. He is as good of a leader. He is as good of a locker room character guy as there is in the NBA. And he has taken his game to places that I don't even think the Knicks expected that he would. And they had his assistant, Rick Brunson on the coaching staff, his dad, Leon Rose, their president, used to be his agent. They knew this player obviously very well. Right. But what he has done is remarkable. The question's going to be for this Knicks team, can they get healthy?
Well, and that's what it is. No one's questioning whether or not Brunson is that dude. We saw him in the postseason multiple times. We've seen him throughout this season, last year. We've seen him be that dude. But ultimately, it's about health in the postseason.
Right.
If he doesn't have that supporting cast, and the Boston Celtics do, or the Milwaukee Bucks, who have been playing pretty good basketball since the All-Star break, if they're healthy and locked in, Brunson can be great. And we saw him be great last year in the Miami series. He was one of the few guys that was consistent. RJ Barrett wasn't. We were struggling to get so much work from the rest of the Knicks. I think Josh Hart is having his best season of his career.
He is.
So I think they have help, but ultimately they are going to be capped based off their help because they are always going to be looking up at those teams talent-wise.
Right, and it's going to be a little bit tricky to make it to the conference finals if they stay where they are right now, because they'd have to beat the Magic in the 4-5 series, and then they'd have to beat the Boston Celtics in a 1-4 series, and that's an incredibly tall task, one that I know you do not put past Jalen Brunson, but really it's not just Brunson. There's something else that you have your eye on, Sean.
Yeah, I know you talked about, okay, they're looking up. The Knicks right now are not a championship team, right? We all know that. But they are close. They are knocking on the door. Championship teams have two things. They have defense and they have star power. And they're getting pretty great at both of those things, particularly the defense. This is one of the most elite defensive teams that we've seen this NBA season. I just want you guys to see how committed they are to rotations. Here, they're hawking the ball handler. The ball moves. Players fly. Second line of defense is there. There's rotation. And this is an elite level defensive play from OG Anunoby. He stunts, but then he still recovers. The Knicks, they really want to contest everything. And then most importantly, they want to secure the rebound. And it's not just that. They build walls on defense. That's why they're able to win. They may not throw up those 130-point nights, but look at the wall in which they rim protect. They have each other's back. And the head of the snake is OG Anunoby. He is, by the numbers, one of, if not the best perimeter defensive player in the NBA. He holds his opponents that are near him amongst qualified players to 41% defensively, offensively shooting. And then look at these numbers. Again, second in holding opponents in points per game, fourth in paint points per game. They get defensive rebounds where people think that you have to rely on one player or two, have this tremendous center.
Yeah.
The Knicks have the defense. Now they're trying to round out their star power, and they're going to be great to come.
Not to mention, the way that we have seen games started, the referees have started to call less fouls. That plays directly into the physical nature of a Tom Thibodeau coach team. But you mentioned OG Anunoby. OG is out with that right injury management, that right elbow management, rather, Woj. He missed 18 games with that injury. What more can you tell us about how long he could be out here?
Malika, I'm told that OG Anunoby is going to be out more than just tonight, that right elbow has flared up again. They need it to calm down. How long he is out is unclear, but it's certainly a concern for this Knicks team. They do not know the status of Julius Randle moving forward, and right now they will miss OG Anunoby more than just this game against the Warriors tonight.